morning. It is Wednesday, the 25th of February. We are running out of time for the Teen Wolf van. I think we're on a good track to get it done. I believe they painted the inside of the van yesterday, and they plan to paint the roof today and plan to paint the outside of the van by Friday. So I'm just heading there for a couple of reasons. I'm meeting Sonia from Lordco there. We're going over our cylinder count for our oxygen, acetylene, mixed gases and argons and nitrogens and all that stuff. Since we've moved, we've gathered all the cylinders up together, and we seem to have more than we normally would, and just want to get our contracts in order and get everything in order. So anyway, just figured I'd fire up the cameras for our drive by the old shop here. Looks like they've got their chain link up for the used tires, which is nice. I was asking for that for 5 years. I guess now that they have to clean up their own property, they realize how bad the tire mess was with the homeless throwing stuff in there and the tire guy not cleaning up after the tires were picked up. But anyway, what's going on here? Garbage guy out here doing something. Just not sure what. Changing cans or what the deal is, but putting stickers on them, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, meeting down here, gonna check out the progress on the van and then go over what cylinders we have in this shop. That's about it, so we'll see you inside. Just over at the body shop, got a bit of an update from Drew on the Teen Wolf van. Changed the plan a little bit. They're gonna get it fully prepped, so they're gonna paint the roof tomorrow and then paint the rest of the body the day after. So they're just gonna fully prep it today. So everybody's gonna, all hands on deck here, prepping it away. So just walk through here and show you what's happening. So yeah, they're just giving her. It's looking pretty good from what this was a week ago to what it is now. It's looking pretty amazing. Yeah, 4 people working steady on it, and they got the inside painted yesterday, so that's good. That's all it needs, just to clean it up. It was all flaky before, so Lyle's got the seats all done at the upholstery shop. So yeah, coming together. So we'll stay out of their way and let them do this. Once they get to a point they can't have 4 people working on it, they got a couple things to address on the Izetta. They got the doors and the hood to paint for this as well once they're done painting this. The plan is to get the wheels done by Monday, and then Monday afternoon get it back over to the auto shop so we can make the mirror brackets, get the exhaust manifold changed out. Over here, not a lot's been going on because they've been working on the Teen Wolf van. We got another boat in from High Caliber for some paint work. So they prepped it out yesterday in the back a little bit. So other than that, we got a truck here. I quoted out some work on this a long time ago. I think it was almost 2 years ago. Just some areas of concern the customer wanted fixed, so he's finally booked it in. So they've done some work on that. The Nova we brought over from the auto shop yesterday, and then the Cherokee you've seen. We're just waiting to get people on it again, of course, because of the Teen Wolf van is kind of holding us up for a little bit of time. Same with the Mustang. Done the repairs. I think they just got to get some primer on it soon. Cliff's car here is, I think, ready to go. He's just had a bit of a health situation, I think, with his legs or his knee or something. So I think it's just waiting for him to pick it up. And then, of course, the 56 Merc, we just need to get back on it. So that's about it. We'll see you soon. All right, good morning. It's Saturday, end of February here. And we have some decent weather today. So I pulled a couple of the customer vehicles out front that are running and driving. Yeah, it looks pretty cool out here, having some cars when we have the weather for it, of course. Impala out here, it's in for a little bit of work. The C10's been here for a while. You've seen most of that work if you've been following along. And then the red Mustang is fastback as well. It's out over there. Anyway, just do a little bit of a walk around in here. Of course, all the American Graffiti cars. Again, I may as well pick something quickly and kind of go through it. Let's pick the 55. This is one of the ones that Stones has actually built. One of the cool things we did on this was the front clip is a flip front, but it's all steel, including the hood scoop. And we're actually working on doing a little grill in here with Rich, and I have some 3D printed parts over in my desk I can show you. But yeah, and this is all on actuators, so the whole hood lifts by pulling a lever under the dash. Let's get this sign out of the way because the bumper almost hits the ground, and we'll see how it works out. One thing we still need to do is the white tonneau cover in this. We did make it a 4-speed car since it was supposed to be. The car came to Kevin automatic. We made it a 4-speed car because he wanted his other car that was a 4-speed car in automatic, so that worked out perfect for him. So we still have to finish this down here, but we developed a hood release that pushes a button at the same time. So we have a mechanical latches. We used, I think they're Corvette latches, like C3 Corvette. So you pull this lever, and as you pull the lever, it releases the mechanical latches, and then a button gets pushed further in, and that actuates the hood actuators. So let's see if it's ready to go. There it goes. The batteries are probably a little bit low from sitting here. I'll have to put the charger on it. It's parked in the spot that we can charge it, so that's probably enough. We also did the electric flip tail light out the back for your gas flap. And I think that's this switch here. Yeah. So we got that as well, which is pretty neat on this car. And one of the hardest things with this car was the gas or quarter panels. Went through the paint shop a couple times with this car, and because it always looked like it had a hollow in the top of the quarter panel in this area. And that's because of the arch coming up past kind of, I guess, the apex of the corner. It's kind of hard to tell with that tail light open. But because this arch comes up past this curve, when you cut it out that high, it naturally cuts in. So our biggest problem was it always looked like it had this wow in the quarter panel, and to get rid of it, we would lose that little bit of a eyebrow lip that we wanted there. So that was a lot of work. We went through painting the car probably 2 or 3 times, just the quarter panels to get it to where we were happy with it. So anyway, that's one of the facts with this that was tough. Yeah, last things to finish on it, of course, is we're going to redo the package tray back here and get rid of the speakers and the white tonneau cover that it should have from in the movie, and that's about it. We don't pop the hood often on it, so of course it's not detailed under the hood. I will show you around under there. It is a big block 396 car. So yeah, we've done the vintage air front runner kit on it. We've done air conditioning in this, and a few other things. We do have an electric brake kit we're going to put in, the same one we put in his 56. So there you go. It's a bit more of an overview of the 55, one of my favorite cars that is in the collection. So there you go, with the hood open. Wow, what a turnout that was for the open house for, well, it was a shop tour, I guess, for the BC Hot Rod Association. So pretty cool. They even brought us a little plaque for doing the garage tour, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, it all happened real quick, so we'll throw up some quick footage maybe from the shop cameras or whatever of how many people were here, but I'd say there was a minimum of 50 people that showed up, if not more. So anyway, back to our shop tour. I think I left off showing you the 55 Chevy up front. Some customers came in and then it got too busy, so I'll head out into the shop here. Of course, being Saturday, we're not really working in the shop. A couple of the guys did come in Saturday to do a lift kit that we're doing for Chilliwack Ford. So we'll work our way back there. 57, you've probably seen it before. We're waiting on some carpet. We're doing some new carpet in it. Fixed up his seat for him. We fixed up the fender gap here. A few other little things that are happening. So it's been in and out a few times, this car. Toyota, obviously you've seen that. I'm just getting ready to do the tires and wheels. So maybe we'll throw up a quick time lapse here of me putting these on here, because I'll be doing that after this video. Corvette came over from the body shop. The guys, 2 guys worked on it for most of the week here and got a really good jump on the assembly of it. The doors, the back half of the car, the headlights, all that. We have the Mustang back out of storage. Last time it was here, we were waiting for, or we decided to get toe kicks for it instead of making the panels. So it did take it off the schedule for a few weeks, but it saved the customer a lot of money, a better quality job just buying the parts versus making the parts just to keep the job rolling. So it's a huge thing we do here. If we're not in a massive rush, we will buy the parts and save you the labor, because to make these toe kicks, even the little sections that we needed would have been way more hours than the $100 part, right? So that's kind of how we do things here. That's on the door just to make sure he doesn't dent it on the tool here. We've got the orange truck back here dealing with some suspension stuff. Again, wasn't a truck that was built here, but his power steering didn't work. I'm assuming maybe the power steering that he put in was used out of a wrecker. It's a Mustang electric power steering. So we put a reman in from Lordco basically. It works now. And then one of the other tasks we have is getting his air conditioning working. And what it turns out is the guys put a vintage air conditioning system in here, but they ran the AC compressor like it was still a factory Ford Mustang or Ford truck or whatever this engine might be out of. It's a Coyote. So they plugged the factory harness into the compressor, and that harness runs back here into the transmission and engine harness and goes to nowhere, because there's clearly no evaporative system in the vehicle that's factory. It's got a vintage air system, so that's a standalone system. And then up front here, they didn't put the trinary switch in. And then where this is all mounted, there's no room for it where it normally goes, so we have to put it in line up front because it has an electric fan. So you need a trinary switch to run that system. So that's getting done. Some things we've noticed, they've downsized the bolts for the front coilovers. These bolts are holding the whole weight of this car up, and they've downsized it at least one size. So not only is it a weak link, but they've also, it's a loose point. You know, there's room for it to move, which will make everything chafe and eventually start clunking and getting loose. So we're gonna have to change those bolts out. Of course, that's done the same on both sides. So we gotta fix that up. And then under here, the suspension. These coilovers should not be on this angle. They're on about a 37-degree angle. And what's happening is that every time you go more and more on an angle, that spring is under that much more load. So what's happening is you can see the adjustment. This is the driver's side. There's only a couple threads, and there's a whole bunch on this side. And what happens is, because all the torque's on this side, as he keeps driving it, it doesn't take long. It just keeps sinking on this side. So it's making this spring just collapse and collapse and collapse. So we've been fighting with that. So we're gonna move the top over as far as we can up here and move it down here. Try and get that straight up and down a little bit more. And then we need to talk to him about maybe some more fitment in here. He's almost touching on the inside, and he is touching on the outside. You can see the marks on the tires. So he either needs to widen these fenders or do something different with the tires and wheels. The best bet would be, you know, spend the money and wide body these fenders a little bit. But we'll talk to him, see what he wants to do. Over here we have the IROC back. This one we put a 350 in. It was an original 305 car. First engine had some issues, so we've done a warranty on him, and he's had the engine built at Canada Engines. It was burning some oil. One of our previous mechanics had built the engine in-house and did a few things we didn't actually want him to do, and it caused some concerns to the customer. So it's just all being done under warranty, and he's now has a completely refreshed 350 in here. And yeah, we just need to deal with some air conditioning, and his battery was no good, so it needs a battery, and get him back on the road for spring here. So pretty much done. Barracuda, we're figuring out tires and wheels. I think we've nailed down what we're going to order for it. We just need to do so. And yeah, I'm going to order the tires first to confirm the exact offsets that we want for it. So yeah, that's about that. And then back here, his own garage has been in. They've done some more wall covering. So the idea, by the time we're all said and done, and this whole shop's done, we're going to have probably 30 to 35 different textures and colors throughout the shop, so you can see what's in real life, what's available to do your garage. So when we're helping you do your garage dress up, you can come in and see. So like this floor actually has some red in it. So if you have a red vehicle, you might want to add some red flake or orange or purple, or just do your traditional colors. So we just, every section is going to have a different color or texture to it. So it's really cool, because you got, this is your standard flake size, and then this is a smaller flake. So it looks really cool. So anyway, that's what's happening there. And then yeah, the guys are in here getting this lift kit done for Chilliwack Ford. Yeah, it's a big BDS 7-inch lift. There's some big wheels with lots of poke. So yeah, brand new truck off the lot, and it's getting the works. So this is a 4-link in the front, so they've gotten rid of the stamped steel arms. Now it's got some big beefy 4-links, and they're longer. They've had to clock the transfer case. It's got Fox shocks, and of course the back is just like a block lift, but it's also getting the traction bars. So I think they come up way up in the frame to here, give it some traction. So yeah, that's coming together. So anyway, that's it for this week's update on Saturday. See you soon. Look at it with the proper tires and wheels. Looks pretty cool. So yeah, this coming week we should get it up and running. We've had it flashed up, but we need to get some coolant in it, and we can actually get it up and running and focus on making it a driver. So it's getting real close. All the seats are in it now, so that's cool. Seats are all mounted. Of course, we have plastic on them because they're nice Mastercraft seats. But yeah, so real close to being able to drive this thing. Yeah, so we'll get her flashed up this week, and I'm sure you'll see some footage. So we'll see you then.